Before we begin making our soft pretzels, I just want to put the recipe up here so you can see it. You can screenshot it, that way you can follow along. And then there's a whole other page with directions as well. So welcome to my kitchen, and we are going to be starting to make our soft pretzels. And I want you to know that sometimes cooking can be really stressful, and ingredients and directions can kind of creep up on you. And when you're cooking, suddenly, like if you're cooking on the stove top, you're like, oh no, I need this really fast. So my suggestion is, this is something I like to do. I like to read over my read over the directions, read the ingredients that you need, and lay them all out in a row. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go through the ingredients. It says that we need active yeast, sugar, warm water, all-purpose flour, salt, vegetable oil, baking soda, 8 cups of water, 1 egg, 1 tablespoon water, and then kosher salt. So that's what I'm first going to look at. I'm going to go through the entire ingredients and I'm going to lay them out. So I'm going to pause this and we will continue once I have it all laid out. So I just put 2 teaspoons of dry active yeast in here. So I'm going to put that off to the side because that was the first thing that the directions said. Next, it's saying 1 tablespoon granulated sugar. So I need to find my tablespoon. So I always take a knife and flatten it out so it's exactly the same amount, because when you're baking, you have to be exact. With cooking, it's another story. You can kind of go off on what you like, which sometimes I even like cooking better because you can do that. This one, you really have to pay attention. So I'm going to put the 1 tablespoon of sugar in this little bowl, and I'm going to set it aside right next to the yeast. So I'm just going to line them up. So next, it's calling for 1 cup of warm water. So if your water gets warm enough, you can totally just use your sink. I'm hoping that it is warm enough. Yep, it is. And then just to be safe, I'm going to put it in the microwave for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yeah, I might do another 10 seconds to make sure that it's warm enough. Because warm water is going to activate the yeast. When you put the yeast with the sugar, it's going to activate it, and then that will help the pretzels rise. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Perfect. So that's going to go right next to the sugar. The next on the list is 2.5 cups all-purpose flour. And it says we may need up to 3 cups. So I think I'm going to put 3 cups in this bowl just in case. That way I have it. I'm going to grab my flour. So my 1 cup doesn't fit in here, so I use a smaller one to scoop. Okay, I'm going to take the knife, I'm going to do an X, get all those pockets, so we have a lot of flour in there. I'm going to smooth it out. And there's my 1 cup. I'm going to put that in the red bowl. We need another cup. Do the cross. There's 2 cups, and we're going to do that 3rd cup. Even though it calls for 2.5, it says we may need 3, so I'm just going to do 3 just in case. do the cross one more time. And there's 3 cups. I'm going to put that right next to my water. So everything so far is lined up so I can stay organized. Next on the list is 1 teaspoon salt. So I'm just going to pour that in here. Oop, that came out way faster than I thought it was going to. So I'm going to pour this into this little bowl and put that next to my flour. So everything is lined up and organized. 1 teaspoon vegetable oil. I'm going to grab that. Make sure, I'm going to do it slower this time so it doesn't spill. Oop, but it's spilling anyways. Whoops. I'm just going to put it in the cap. And I'm going to put that right next to the salt. Then we need a 4th cup of baking soda. Hopefully I have enough in here. Okay, I'm going to put the 4th cup. There we go. Okay, there's my baking soda. I'm going to make a mess on here. I'll just clean it up. So I'm going to just plop this right in this 1 cup because I'm running out of tiny bowls. And I'm going to put this right next to my oil. Next, we're going to need 8 cups of water. So that's why I have this big bowl. I'm going to put all my 8 cups. It doesn't say you need warm, so I'm just going to, it's going to be regular temperature water. All right, this might take a little bit because this is my 1 cup measuring tool. One. 2. 3. 4 more to go. 5. 6. 7. 1 more. 8. Okay. 8 cups of water. I'm going to add it to my line of ingredients. So now we need 1 egg. Yep, 1 egg. Then we need 1 tablespoon water and then a 4th cup of that kosher salt. So there's a lot to this recipe. I'm going to grab that 1 egg. I'm going to put it in this little bowl, or cup actually. There, 1 egg. Add that to my line. 1 tablespoon of water, which I will put in this. Add that to my line. And then the last one is a 4th cup salt. Of kosher salt. So kosher salt is it's a little bit different than regular salt. It's they're bigger. I don't know if you can see. Yeah. So it's bigger chunks of salt. Of course I put my water in the 1/4 cup, which I needed, which I didn't know that. So I'm going to just pour it into this, which is fine. And then I have room to put my salt in here. I'm going to just dry it out. All right. And my ingredients line is complete. So we'll just go over it one more time, everything I did. So first we had 2 teaspoons of yeast. We had 1 tablespoon of sugar. We had that 1 cup of warm water. We had the 3 cups of flour. How much? 1 teaspoon salt. 1 teaspoon vegetable oil. A 1/4 cup of baking soda. 8 cups of water. 1 egg. 1 tablespoon of water. And a 1/4 cup of that kosher salt, which is probably what we're going to use at the end when the pretzel is complete and cooked. So now that I have my line, I'm organized, I'm ready to begin the recipe. I'm just going to clean up a little bit, so I'm going to pause this and we'll continue in a second. Okay, let's begin. So first you're going to grab a large bowl and you're going to set it on the table and we're going to begin. So we are going to combine the yeast, sugar, and warm water in a bowl. You can use an electric mixer if you have it. I don't, so I'm going to just use this bowl with a regular spoon. So here goes nothing. Here's my yeast. Here's my sugar. Check the warm water to see if it's still, yep, it is perfect. Pour that in there. Grab a spoon. You're going to stir it to make it combine, and then you're going to watch it for 5 minutes. So that's what it's going to look like. You're going to let it sit for 5 minutes, and then we are going to continue, which I'm sure next we're going to. All right, 5 minutes have passed. Our yeast is looking bubbly. So we are ready to continue. So let's see, it says, oh, watch for little bubbles to pop onto the surface. After 5 minutes, stir the water to dissolve the yeast. So we're just going to stir it. And then we're going to stir in the flour and salt. So slowly start adding that flour. And add the salt. And add more flour. I'm just going to add the rest of the flour. Oops, spilled. So it's starting to get a lot drier. So what it says. It says you're going to knead the dough for 5 minutes or knead by hand for 5 to 7 minutes. After kneading for 2, if the dough is still sticky, then you're going to add more flour. So I'm just going to grab it with my hand and start kind of smushing it together. And if your surface is clean, you can take it and put it on your countertop. And kneading, you're going to take this part of your hand and you're going to push it down, and then you're going to fold it back over and do it again with the with this part of your hand. So I'm going to put 5 minutes on the clock. All right, 5 minutes are on the clock, and join me with kneading if you have your dough with you. So far, the consistency is really good. It's not too sticky. It's not sticking to the countertop. And if it does become sticky, oh, I spoke too soon. So I'm going to grab my flour and just have it on hand. Just going to add some flour to the surface, and continue kneading. Mine's starting to stick a little bit again, so I'm going to grab a little bit more flour. All right, 3 minutes on the clock. Oop. This would probably be fun too if you put some music on. You can dance while you do it, but I haven't put music on. Let me see if I can. Alexa, play Pandora. Alexa, volume up. All right, 1 more minute, and then we will move on. Okay. So I want you to just roll it in a ball like that. Grab one of your plates, or not plates, sorry. One of your bowls, you're going to clean it out, and then I want you to grease it with vegetable oil. I'm just going to pour a little bit of vegetable oil in there. I'm going to take a paper towel and just kind of move it around so it coats everywhere, because when it rises, it's going to go above the bowl. Then I'm going to add my ball of dough, just roll it around so it gets coated on each side. Like that. I'm going to grab my sling wrap, and I'm going to cover it. And it's going to stay in there, find a nice warm place, and I will see you in an hour, and it will be looking a lot different than it does now. Alright, an hour has passed. Sorry for the noisy dishwasher. And our dough has risen. And now we're going to cut it in 8 portions. So I'm just going to take it out. Yep, okay. My hands are all greasy. Just grab a butter knife and I'm going to cut it. Let's see if we can. Half. This one in half. It's 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we have 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope, we have 8. We're good. Alright. 8 little portions. And then we're going to roll each portion into a snake. Okay, let's see. Once you have the dough to snake, it's time to make the pretzel. Make a U shape, then cross the 2 ends over each other. Pull the 2 ends back over. I think I need more dough. I'm just going to add it, make it bigger that way. Even if I don't have 8 pieces. This is my first time making pretzels, so I'm not an expert. Alright, U, cross. I don't know why I'm not doing this correctly. This is kind of hard. Okay. It says make a U shape, then cross the 2 ends over each other, and then fold the 2 ends back over the bottom of the U. I'm trying to remember what a pretzel looks like. I'm gonna go grab my phone and look at a picture. There's nothing wrong with making a mistake. Pretzel. Okay. Image. Okay. See if I can. Stick, stick, stick. Okay, so U. Okay. I mean, it kind of looks like a pretzel. So I'm just going to put that one off to the side. Then I'm going to do another one. I mean, it'll still taste like a pretzel even if it doesn't look like a pretzel. You and twist. Mini pretzel. So while I'm doing this, I think it's a good idea to take the 8 cups of water and put it in a pot to boil. If you have a higher one than this, I would use it because it says that it's going to boil over. So I'm going to put the 8 cups of water in there and put it on the stove top. And I'm going to let that boil. Twist. Little pretzel. I'm going to make a big pretzel. I'm going to combine 2 of these. See if it works. I'm not having really that much luck. It's not bad. Okay. U shape. I'm going to grab it and I'm going to twist it. There's the pretzel. So I'm going to let the water boil and then I will be back. Okay, I have the baking soda and I'm going to add it to the boiling water. Then once I do that, we're going to put the pretzel in it. And I have tongs. So 30 seconds on each side. That's what it looks like. Oh no. Well, that's not good. I mean, I guess it's gonna be an S pretzel. I don't know. Come here. Well, that stinks. I don't really know how to prevent that from happening. Maybe I'll add a little... I'm just going to twist them a little bit more. And I'm going to drop this one in there and hope that doesn't happen. It smells like a pretzel, so I got that correct. Alright. Put an extra twist in this one. Alright, here goes nothing. This one's the most pretzel looking one out of all the ones I made. Ouch. Whew. Just keeps, can't even see it in there. And then it's kind of what it looks like. I'm hoping the taste is better than it looks like. And then last one. Alright. This is probably the worst looking one out of all of them. It looks like a blob. But look at that one. That one's pretty beautiful. So once that one's done in the pot with the baking soda, it says that we're going to make the egg wash. So you're going to grab the egg that you cracked earlier, you're going to mix it with the 1 tablespoon water, and then you're going to brush it over the pretzels, and you're going to sprinkle it with that kosher salt. So I'm going to grab the egg out of the... Actually, I should probably grab that other pretzel out of there before it's in there too long. Alright. Okay. I'm just going to dab that one. It's a little wet. Okay. So here's my egg, here's the water. I'm gonna add that olive oil in there too. Grab a fork, mix it. So it doesn't look like, I think my brush that I usually use is red and it has little rubber pieces, and that's easy to brush on, but I don't have that. I think it's in the dishwasher. So I'm going to do my best just to use a spoon. And I'm going to put the egg wash on the pretzel. And don't forget to preheat your oven to 450. They're not going to be in there that long, that's why it's that hot. Alright, so the egg wash is on. Then I'm going to take my salt and I'm just going to sprinkle it on the pretzel. And you can save some for when it's done if you want to make it a little bit more saltier. So that's what they look like on top. And then once the oven's preheated, you're going to do it for 12 to 15 minutes until they are golden brown. And you're going to transfer to a cooling rack. Yep, so I think it's preheated. I'm going to put these in here. I'm just going to do it for 12 minutes, not the full 15. And I will see you in 12 to 15 minutes. Alright, there they are. 12 minutes later, nice and golden brown. They're squishy. I'm going to give it a taste. I'm going to rip a piece off. Tastes exactly like a pretzel. So yay! There's my video for today. Sorry it was so long. Sometimes these recipes take really long time. But it was